A very good morning to one and all. I'm Priyanka Raghunath Sapkar from BMC Education Department, Goregaon MPS Municipal Secondary School East. So students, today we are going to continue with the topic of chemical reactions and equations. So students, yesterday only finished with the topic. So today we are going to practice with some of the reactions because these reactions are very important. So as the name itself is chemical reactions and equations, so one by one we will see the different types of reactions. So students, types of chemical reactions are, so we studied 5 types here. First one, we will revise in short and then we will solve different types of reaction and how to understand which reaction is of which type. Okay, so there are different types of tricks and tactics to study how to differentiate between the different types of reactions. So here, types of chemical reactions are, as we know, first one is the combination reaction. Now for this reaction, if you want to understand whether the given chemical equation or given chemical reaction is a combination reaction, one thing you should know that in combination reaction, the number of reactants are 2, which will combine to form one product. Okay, so whatever the reactants are there in the reactant side, they will combine and one product they will give. That means that shows that there is a combination of it. Okay, it combines and forms a product. Then comes the decomposition reaction, which is the reverse of the combination reaction. Now in decomposition reaction, what happens? Only one reactant will be there. Okay, and that particular reactant will break down into simple substance, or you can say complex substances can be get converted into the simpler one. That is, one compound gets it breaks down into 2 or 3 compounds or 2 and 3 products in the product side. Then comes the displacement reaction. In that we saw about the single displacement and double displacement. Now displacement itself tells us about that it is about the replacement. Okay, now replacement means what? That means it is about the substitution. That means it is the replacement of which element here. Now here in a single displacement, the thing is that there are 2 types of displacement, single displacement and double displacement. So single displacement tells us that will be the displacement of only single element. But in a double displacement, there will be displacement of 2 elements. So that's why the name itself is given as single displacement and double displacement. Then comes the single displacement. We study about the reactivity series. Both the reactivity series of metals and non-metals we had studied. Now, why this is important in single displacement? Because in single displacement, what happens in the reactant side, there will be one compound and one element. So now the element which is going to replace, it should have the higher reactivity. That means in the compound, whatever the element which will be present, whether it is a metal or a non-metal, it should have the low reactivity and it will be replaced by the high reactive element. Okay, so that element may be either metal and non-metal, but always remember a metal will only replace a metal and a non-metal will only replace a non-metal. Then comes for the double displacement reaction. Now in double displacement reaction, what happens here? In double displacement reaction, the thing is that 2 elements are get replaced. Now 2 elements, when we say they are getting replaced, that means here in this case, whenever here in this case we are not considering the reactivity series, only the replacement will take place, because first of all the compounds, it will get converted into ions, and positive and negative ions, they will attract each other, and hence replacement will take place. Here again, metal will replace a metal and a non-metal will replace a non-metal. Then comes the oxidation and reduction. In oxidation, either the addition of oxygen will take place, or loss of electron will take place, or loss of hydrogen will take place. If any one of these happens, then that is the oxidation. Whereas in reduction, here removal of oxygen will take place, addition of electrons will take place, and addition of hydrogen will take place. Either in among these 3 steps, If any one step happen, then that will be your reduction reaction. Now here in chemical reaction, if both of these reactions happen, then that shows that it is a redox reaction. So let's see one by one reaction we will solve now. You can take out your notebook so that you will be able to understand. Now here you can see, now name the reaction. Okay, first is the Mg plus O2 gives you MgO. Okay, now here in this case, now this reaction now we studied about the 5 reactions. Okay, 5 names we know. So we will go one by one and we will see whether that particular reaction is fitting here or not. If it is fitting, then we can say it is that particular reaction. So Mg plus O2 gives you MgO. Now our first reaction is the combination reaction. And what combination reaction says? That 2 reactants will be there and 1 product. So the trick for our combination reaction is 2 reactant and 1 product. So here in this case, you can see in the reactant side, there are 2 reactants, and whereas in the product side, there is only 1 product. So that shows that this reaction is a combination reaction. Okay, so here 2 reactants are there and 1 product is there. Okay, so same way, CO plus O2 gives you CO2. Now here in this case, again, combination reaction. Why? Because 2 reactants, they are combining to form 1 product. Now, these reactions are combination reactions, both the reactions. Okay, but this is not balanced one. You have to balance it. Okay, as you can see on the reactant side, the first reaction, in the first reaction, number of oxygen is 2, whereas in the product side, it is only 1. So to make the equal number of elements, so always you know that the rule is that there should be equal number of elements on both the sides, on the reactant side also and on the product side also. So here we can write 2 as a coefficient in front of MgO, so that oxygen will become 2. And because of it, what happens? Mg also becomes 2. So in front of Mg in the reactant side, we have to write 2. Same case for the, where we have to do with the second reaction where balancing should be done. Now here you can see here combination reaction. These both are the combination reaction here, as you can see how I balance the reaction. So first, now always remember to balance the reaction. What you have to do is in the reactant side, write the elements. Okay, how many elements are present? Just write then their formulas, and on the right hand side also write their symbols. So here Mg and O, MgO, you can see like that it is written. So here in the reactant side, Mg is 1 and oxygen is 2, and on the product side, Mg is 1, oxygen is also 1. So what we did, we just put 2 there in front of Mg. Okay, so here likewise you can see, and 2 in front of the Mg, so that what happens if 2 is added here, so oxygen has become 2, but with that Mg also becomes 2. So now Mg is 2 and oxygen is 2 in the product side. Now it is our duty to make it same with the reactant. So what we will do, we will add 2 there. Okay, we will add coefficient 2 in front of Mg, so that Mg will become 2. Now if you will consider in the reactant side, Mg is 2, oxygen is 2. Now on the product side, Mg is 2 and oxygen is 2. That means in the both the sides, reactant and the product sides, the number of elements are same. Same case for the CO also. Now first of all, write there in the reactant side whatever elements are present, carbon, oxygen. Then in the product side also carbon and oxygen. Then write the number of elements. Now carbon you can see in the reactant side, it is only 1. And oxygen, now see here, CO, O is there, and then plus is there, and then O2 is there. So here this means O plus O2. That means here 3 oxygens are there. Okay, 1 from CO and 2 from O2. So here 3 oxygens in the reactant side, and whereas on the right hand side, that is on the product side, carbon is 1 and oxygen is 2. Now here in this case, what we can do here, number of carbon are similar, but number of oxygen is different. So in the reactant side, the number of oxygen is more as compared to the product side. So what we will do, we will add coefficient in the product side. Now where there will be less number, there only you have to add some number. So here you can see in the product side, first we written the coefficient 2. Now as we written there 2, then what happens? 2 2s are 4. Now see here, CO2 is there. Now oxygen is 2 and here the coefficient is also 2. So 2 multiplied by 2 will become 4. Okay, so here 4 oxygen, it becomes 4 oxygen and carbon becomes 2. So now what we will do here on the left hand side, carbon has become 2, so we will add coefficient 2 in front of the CO. Then oxygen has also become 2 then. So then we can say that 2 plus 2 here 4 is coming. So that means both in the reactant side and the product side, both the numbers are similar now. In the reactant side, number of carbon is 2 and in the product side, number of carbon is 2. Whereas in the reactant side, number of oxygen is 4 and in the product side, number of oxygen is 4. So likewise, you have to balance the chemical reaction. Okay. Now next come towards the next reactions. Now you can also solve this if you understood the first one. Na plus Cl2 gives you NaCl. Okay. Now again go one by one. First go with the combination reaction. Now combination reaction says that there should be 2 reactant and 1 product. So now this is fulfilling our requirement of combination reaction. So 2 reactant and 1 product is there. So we can say that it is a combination reaction. Okay. Now here we have to balance Na plus Cl2 gives you NaCl. Now why students we are writing like that Cl2, O2, okay. Why this chlorine, oxygen is written like that? Two chlorine molecules, 2 oxygen. Because these are those elements which we cannot find in free state. They are always found in combined state. Okay. So always remember nitrogen, hydrogen, oxygen, halogen groups. Okay. They combine with itself. Okay. Another element of itself and then they will form likewise Cl2, O2, H2 and 2 likewise. Okay. Then, so sodium when reacts with Cl2, then what you will get? It should be NaCl. But as the chlorine number is 2 in the reactant side, so we also want the same number in the product side. So what we will do, we will add 2 coefficient in front of NaCl. Now, after adding 2 as a coefficient in front of NaCl, what happens here? The chlorine has become 2, but with the chlorine, sodium has also become 2 here. So as sodium has also become 2, that means here on the left hand side, in the reactant side also, we need to make it 2 sodium. So what we will do, we will add coefficient 2 there. Okay. Next comes, so likewise, you have to do the balancing of a chemical equations or chemical reactions. Okay. If it is difficult to you to do verbally, then just write the number of elements and write the numbers. How many number of elements are present on the reactant side and how many number of elements are present in the product side. So that will be easier for you. Then comes H2 plus O2 gives you H2O. Now here again, combination reaction. How? Because 2 reactants are there and 1 product is there. Again, balancing the equation. H2 is 2 and oxygen is 2 in the reactant side, whereas in the product side, H2 means hydrogen is 2 and oxygen is 1. So to make the oxygen 2, we have to add the coefficient 2. Now after adding it, you can see that oxygen has become 2. Number of oxygen and in the reactant and the product side has become same, but the number of hydrogen in the product side has increased. Okay, so here you can see 2 2s are 4. Number of hydrogen becomes 4 in the product side. So what we will do? We will add a coefficient in front of H2. Okay, 2 we will add so that the number of hydrogen will become 4. So here the number of hydrogen and oxygen is same in the reactant side and in the product side. Okay, now again, Na plus Cl2 NaCl and H2 plus O2 gives you twice H2. So this is a combination reaction. Okay. Now here you can see CaCO3 when gets heated, it gives CaO plus CO2. Okay. Now here, go one by one with the reaction. First one is the combination reaction. So according to the combination reaction, 2 reactant and 1 product. So is the condition is fulfilling here? No, the condition is not fulfilling. So here only 1 reactant is there and 2 product is there. Okay, so combination, it's not a combination reaction. Then comes the second one, that is the decomposition reaction. What do you mean by the decomposition reaction? Where only 1 reactant will be there and it will break down into 2 products. So now you can see here only 1 reactant is there and 2 products are there. That means this is a decomposition reaction. Okay. Now mostly breakdown occurs in presence of heat. Okay, so that's why heat, sign of heating is given in over the arrow. So that triangle is the sign of heating. Okay, so when you heat CaCO3, it gets converted into a simpler form of CaO and CO2. Okay, then just see whether the reaction is balanced or not. Calcium is 1 in the reactant side and it is 1 in the product side. Then carbon, number of carbon is 1 in the reactant side and in the product side it is also 1. And oxygen is 3 in the reactant side and in the product side also CaO, 1 oxygen from there and CO2, 2 oxygen from this side. So here 3 oxygen. So that means it's fulfilling the it's fulfilling the number of elements in both the reactant side and in the product side. So here you can see here number of elements on the reactant side will be equal to the number of elements on the product side. Then the next equation is H2O plus CO2 gives you H2CO3. Now again goes one by one with the reaction, combination reaction, 2 reactant, 1 product. So this is fulfilling its need. That means on 2 reactants are there and 1 product is there. So that means you can say that the reaction is a combination reaction below 1. Okay. Again, if you want to balance the equation, just try to balance it. Write the number of elements on the left hand side of the reactant side and of the product towards the right hand side. Then you will see that number of hydrogen is similar in both reactant and product side. Number of carbon is also similar and number of oxygen is also similar. That means here we don't need to balance the chemical equation. Okay. Then comes this CuSO4 plus Zn gives you ZnSO4. Now here and Cu. Now, so again we will go one by one with the different types of reaction. So first one is the combination reaction where 2 reactant will be there and 1 product is there. Now here in this reaction, reactants are 2 but products are also 2. So that means here it will not fulfill the criteria for the combination reaction. Then next comes the decomposition reaction where 1 reactant will be there. It will break down into 2 or 3 products. So here reactants are 2. So 1 reactant is not there. That means here decomposition reaction is also not fulfilling. Then comes the displacement reaction. Now for the displacement reaction, 2 types of reaction are there. One is the single and other is the double displacement. So we will go first with the single displacement. Single displacement means there should be 1 compound and 1 element. Now here you can see CuSO4 is a compound. Compound means what? It is the mixture of elements. You can see here Cu is also present. Sulfur is also present. Oxygen is also present. That means all these elements, they combine to form 1 compound. But zinc is present alone only. It is an element. So whenever in a single displacement, whenever 1 compound and 1 element is there, okay, and in the product side, replacement has taken place of metal or non-metal, then it shows that it is a single displacement reaction. So here you can see Cu is replaced by zinc. In the product side, we get ZnSO4 and Cu. Now here, always remember in a single displacement reaction, you have to learn the reactivity series or you should know the reactivity series. Okay, only in single displacement reaction, the reactivity series chart is applicable. Otherwise, it is not applicable for any other reactions, only in single displacement. Okay, so here if you go with this single displacement reaction, you can see here that where is zinc? You can see zinc is present below carbon, and where is copper? Copper is present below hydrogen. Okay, so that means here the reactivity decreases as we go from top to bottom. So here, whatever the elements are present towards towards the upper side, towards the top, they contain they are the most reactive elements, whereas the elements which are present below, they are the least reactive elements, or they have low reactivity. So here in this case, zinc is having the higher reactivity as it is present upwards, and copper is having low reactivity. So here in this case, we can say that zinc is having the high reactivity, so definitely it will replace the Cu, because Cu is having low reactivity as compared to zinc. So then here Cu will be gets converted into zinc, and we will get zinc sulfate, ZnSO4 plus Cu. Okay, so here in this case, it is a single displacement reaction where the highly reactive metal gets or replaces less reactive element. Okay, so hence we are getting the single displacement reaction. Then comes the next reaction, AgNO3 plus NaCl. Now, we will go again one by one with the different types of reaction. First reaction is that the combination reaction. That means two or more reactant, they combine to form one single product. So it is not fulfilling that criteria. So hence it is not a combination reaction. Second one is the decomposition reaction, where one reactant breaks down into two or three products. So here in this case, reactant is 2. So that means again decomposition reaction is also not, it's not a decomposition reaction because it is not fulfilling its criteria. Then comes the displacement reaction. Now in displacement also single displacement reaction or double. So for single displacement, what I said, that you should see always in a single displacement, only the replacement of one element will take place. And for that, in the reactant side, there should be one compound and one element. But as you can see here, here are two compounds, AgNO3 and NaCl. These are two compounds. Okay, the reaction which is present above, there it is one compound and one element. But the reaction which is present below, that is the eighth one, there two compounds are present. So hence it is not fulfilling the criteria for the single displacement. Then go towards the double displacement. Double displacement contains that there should be two compounds. Okay, two compounds, they will exchange either metals or non-metals, and hence it will give the product. Okay, exchange product of metals or non-metals. So as you can see, AgNO3 and NaCl, these are two compounds. They will combine, and hence what it will give, the exchange of metals have been taken place. Okay, so Ag will combine with Cl and Na will combine with NO3. So hence we can say that it is a double displacement reaction where two elements have been replaced, two metal elements, or you can say two non-metals also. Okay. So here you can see displacement reaction and double displacement reaction. So this is the reactivity series for solving the single displacement reaction. You should know this series. Okay. In the previous lesson, I showed you one slide where how to learn this reactivity series was given. Okay, one sentence has been made there, so that will be easier for you to learn the pattern or learn the series of reactivity series. Okay. Then comes CaO plus H2O gives CaOH by 2 and heat is released. So triangle shows the heat released. So we will go again one by one with the different types of reaction, combination reaction. So first is the combination reaction, which shows that two reactants and one product. So here two reactants are there, but you will say, madam, there are two products. Now how two products are there? Because children gets confused when this type of symbol of heat, then the dissolution, this type of symbols, if it is there, then you get confused that there are two products. Now these are not two products actually. Okay, product is only one. We are getting that particular compound after the combination of the CaO and H2O. But the heat, it is released. That shows that if whatever the solution has been formed, it is heated. The heat has been released. So whenever heat is released, we say that it is a exothermic reaction. Exo means when heat is released, heat is given out. Okay, the same way happens here in the product side, heat is given out. So it is an exothermic reaction. Plus, if we will not consider the heating part, then up till CaOH by 2, it is a combination reaction. Okay, so whether the heating part is there or not, it is a combination reaction because it is reacting two compounds to form one specific product. Heat is just a side product that shows that the solution has been heated. Okay, so it is an exothermic reaction too. Then comes C12H22O11. So now this gets, now here in this case again, we will go one by one with the reaction. Combination reaction, two reactants and one product, so it is not fulfilled. Then comes the decomposition reaction, one reactant and two products. So here that particular criteria has been fulfilled by this. So we can say that the breakdown of C12H22O11 has been taken place and it's converted into 12 carbon and 11 H2. So hence we can say that here in this case, it is a decomposition reaction. As you can see here, it is written, heat shows it is an exothermic reaction in the product side. If it is written on the reactant side, then that will be an endothermic reaction. Okay. And as the heat is written on the product side, so that means it is an exothermic reaction. Always remember this difference. Okay. Then comes NH3 plus HCl, gives you NH4Cl. Again, just go one by one. First one is the combination, two reactant and one product. So is that fulfilling this? Yes, it is fulfilling. The combination of NH3, that is ammonia and hydrochloric acid, has been taken place and it forms ammonium chloride. Okay, so here combination has been taken place between the ammonia and hydrochloric acid. So here we will get the combination of ammonium chloride. So you can see here two reactants and one product which fulfill the criteria for the combination reaction. Then the below one BaCl2 plus ZnSO4 gives you BaSO4 and ZnCl2. Again here, in this case, we will go one by one. First is the combination reaction, two reactant and one product. So it is not fulfilling that particular criteria. Then go towards the decomposition reaction, one reactant and two product. It is also not fulfilling the criteria. Then go towards the displacement reaction, where two reactions are there, single and double. Now in single displacement reaction, one compound and one element should be there, but here two compounds are there. That means single displacement will not take place, but double displacement can take place. So because two compounds are there. So in the product side, you can see exchange of ions has been taken place. So in this case, we can say that this is a double displacement reaction where exchange of elements, either metals or non-metals, have been taken place. Okay, but two elements exchanged each other. So whenever two elements exchange each other, so we can say it is a double displacement reaction. You can see here how the exchange has been taken place. Okay, you can also do it in your notebook. CuSO4 plus Fe gives you FeSO4 and Cu. Okay, so now in this, again one by one, combination, is this a combination reaction? No, because in combination, two reactant and one product will be there. So here two reactant is there and two product is there. So it is not a combination reaction. Then comes the decomposition where one reactant and two or more products is there. But here two reactants are there. So it is not a decomposition reaction. Then comes with the displacement one. with a single displacement. So where one compound and one element should be there. So here one compound and one element is present. So now we will see that whether Fe is highly reactive or Cu is highly reactive. So through the reactivity series, we can see that Fe is highly reactive. Here in the reactivity series, you can see iron. Iron is highly reactive. After carbon, zinc is present and then iron is present. And then after that comes Cu. Cu is present below hydrogen. So hence we can conclude that iron is having high reactivity as compared to that of the Cu, copper. So here in this case, highly reactive iron will replaces the copper. So hence we will get the solution of FeSO4 and Cu here. Okay. So in this case, now sometimes what happens, they ask you the question, the reverse question of it. Okay. That means FeSO4 plus Cu will give. Now student, if like this question appears, then whatever the reaction is given, no 13 number reaction, just if you reverse it, that means in that case, the reactant will be FeSO4 and Cu. Now, if it is asked that whether the reaction will happen or not, so the answer is it will not happen. Why? Because FeSO4, Fe is already highly reactive than that of the Cu. So always remember that only that criteria of either one compound and one element is present. In spite of it, the second criteria is the reactivity series. Okay. If the reactivity is lower of the element in the compound, then only it will get replaced. If the reactivity is higher, then it will not replace. So here FeSO4 is having the high reactivity, so it will not replace with the Cu. So here in this case, no reaction will be appear if you go with the reverse process. But CuSO4 and Fe, the reaction can happen because Cu is less reactive than that of Fe. So naturally, Fe will replace it. Okay, so hence this is a single displacement reaction. Then comes AgCl gives you Ag plus Cl. Now first is the combination reaction where where the two elements they combine. Okay, two elements they combine to form one. In combination reaction, either compounds or elements they combine to form one single product. But here it is not fulfilling, so that means it is not a combination reaction. Then comes the decomposition reaction. In decomposition reaction, what happens? One reactant and two products will be formed. But here in this case, it is fulfilling our criteria of AgCl. Okay. So here in this case, AgCl will break down into Ag and Cl2. So here in this case, we can say that the breakdown of AgCl into Ag plus Cl will take place. Okay. So here it is a decomposition reaction. Reactivity series, you have to see the reactivity series. Okay, go through it. In the previous slides, I showed you how to learn. Okay. Here you can see displacement reaction and decomposition reaction. Okay. So now this reaction Fe2O3 plus TiCO. Now students, here in this case, most of you says what? That yes, it is not a combination reaction because here two reactants and two products are there. It is also not a decomposition reaction. Why? Because two reactants and two products. Because it is not fulfilling the criteria for the combination and decomposition. Then comes the displacement reaction. Now, most of you, what you do, you say that it is a double displacement reaction because exchange has been taken place here. Okay. Now, see students, in displacement reaction, in either single or double displacement, you can clearly see the exchange. Okay. That means, for example, if here you will see CuSO4 and Fe, you can clearly see the exchange that Fe gets attached with SO4 and Cu as it is. But here in this case, You will not see like that exchange. What happens here? Oxygen from Fe2O3, it is removed and it is get attached with the carbon monoxide. That means here replacement is not there. Total donation is there. Okay. So whenever total donation or total gain of electrons, oxygen or hydrogen, whatever it is there, then that shows that it is none of the reactions from the combination, reduction, combination, decomposition and displacement reaction. So here the concept of redox reaction appears, where it says that oxidation and reduction reaction. That means in redox reaction, both the reduction takes place and oxidation takes place. So here in this case, as you can see, Fe, it donates its oxygen to the carbon monoxide. Now that means Fe is releasing the oxygen. That means removal of oxygen takes place from Fe. Now in this case, for the reduction, what we saw, that whenever there will be a removal of oxygen, then that means that compounded element is reduced. It itself reduced. That means here process of reduction appears. But whereas those element or compound which are gaining the oxygen, in that case, their oxidation has been taken place. Okay. So here in this case, we can see Fe is reduced, Fe2O3 gets reduced to Fe. So here reduction takes place. And why? Because of the removal of oxygen. And as CO gains the oxygen, so oxidation of CO takes place, it gets converted into CO2. Okay. So here both the reduction and the oxidation have been takes place, and hence whenever in the same chemical reaction, both this oxidation and reduction appears, then you can say that it is a redox reaction. Then you can see here the removal of here CuO plus H2 gives you Cu plus H2. Now again one by one we will see. Here in this case you can say that for combination 2 reactant 1 product, here it is not fulfilling. Okay. For decomposition 1 reactant 2 product, it is also not fulfilling. For displacement, replacement will take place, 1 compound 1 element, so that type condition is also not happening here. And 2 compounds replacement, that type condition is not there. That means here we can say that directly we will go for the redox reaction. Now here in this case you will say that why not it is displacement, because the oxygen is going towards the H2. But see student, it is replacement is not appearing. Okay. Here total removal of oxygen or electrons or hydrogen is taking place, or total addition of oxygen, electrons or hydrogen will take place here. So here in this case you can see that CuO is releasing the oxygen. It is not replacing, it is not taking other element towards itself and giving its oxygen. It is totally removing the oxygen. Okay, and after removal, what happens? Wherever removal of oxygen takes place, in that case, reduction appears. Okay, so here removal of oxygen takes place, so reduction of CuO to Cu takes place in the product side. And as that oxygen is gained by the hydrogen, so we can say whenever addition of oxygen takes place, then that condition shows the oxidation process. So here oxidation of hydrogen has been taken place. So whenever in both the reactions, okay, whenever in one chemical reaction, both this oxidation and reduction appears, then we can say that this is a redox reaction. Okay. Then comes towards the next reaction, that is the removal of oxygen. Okay. So students, whenever there is a removal of, in the next reaction, you can say the Fe, that reaction only, which we saw here, that reaction only it is. But here in place of oxygen, H2 is given. Okay. So Fe2O4, when reacts with H2, it will give Fe and H2. Again, removal of oxygen from ion it takes place and it gets reduced to Fe because removal of oxygen is taking place. So here reduction of Fe takes place. Whereas the addition of oxygen is taking place here with the hydrogen. So here we can say here oxidation of hydrogen takes place. So hydrogen gains the oxygen
from the Fe and hence it gets oxidized. So that's why in the product side twice 4H2O is given. Now these numbers, these coefficients are given for balancing the chemical equation. So likewise in a chemical reaction, in the same chemical reaction when oxidation and reduction takes place, so it is a redox reaction. So students, likewise, you have to see which type of reactions are given to you. Just go through 5 types of reactions are there, go one by one. For combination, 2 reactant, 1 product. For decomposition, 1 reactant, 2 product. For displacement reaction, single displacement. First one is the reactivity series, and in that 2 compound and element should be there. Okay, and a metal will only replace a metal, and a metal will and a non-metal will replace a non-metal. Then comes the double displacement where 2 elements are replaced. Now here in this case 2 compounds we are using. Okay, and in that too replacement of 2 elements will take place. But here we don't have to use the reactivity series. Reactivity series is only used in single displacement reaction. None of the other reactions we can use it. Okay. Then comes the redox reaction where oxidation and reduction takes place. Oxidation means addition of oxygen or loss of electron or loss of hydrogen. Then reduction means removal of oxygen or gain of electrons or gain of hydrogen. So that is the reduction. So whenever in a chemical reaction these 2 processes appears, oxidation and reduction, then we say it is a redox reaction. Okay. Now just go towards the questions. Now rancidity, yesterday we had seen about it. So what do you mean by the rancidity? Whenever the old oil is there, if the leftover cooking oil is there for making food stuff, if it is found to have some foul smell, then we can say that it is called as the rancidity. Okay. Then what do you mean by the combination reaction? As I already told you, when 2 reactants they combine together, they form a single product that is known as the combination reaction. Then what is a decomposition reaction? Decomposition reaction is totally opposite of the combination reaction. So here in this case, one reactant will be there and it will break down into 2 or more products. Then comes the displacement reaction. So displacement means a replacement reaction. What happens? It is also of 2 types, single and double. So in single displacement, we have to consider the reactivity series where a metal will replace a metal and a non-metal will replace a non-metal. Same case for the double displacement. What happens in the double displacement reaction? Here 2 elements have been replaced. In single displacement only 1 element replaced, but whereas in double displacement 2 elements are replaced. And here in this case also a metal will only replace a metal and a non-metal will only replace a non-metal. So students, likewise the lesson was, so if you have any doubt, you can ask me. Yes? Any query if you are having, just raise your hands. Yes? Akib Khan, come on, unmute yourself and ask me the doubt. Unmute beta and ask your doubt. Any query?
Students, any doubts, then only raise your hands.
No doubts?
Ma'am, I think no one is raising their hand.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, students.
Ma'am, shall we stop here?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you playing the video?
No, it is, I'm not able to play that video, that's why.
No problem. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, okay, thank you, ma'am.